the national anthem. We are moments away from action. For those tuning in on Sea Dogs Live, the St. John Sea Dogs will defend the goal to our left. They are in their home dark blue sweaters, and for the Halifax Mooseheads on the road, they are to our right in their whites. And we are also pleased that you can join us on YouTube. So we can't cheat the broadcast, Joe. They will know exactly what's going on because you get to see the play. And we will try and be as accurate as possible in this preseason. Of course, for me, the challenge is getting to know both teams, really. Usually I just have to try and figure out who the visiting team is, but it's still some unfamiliar faces in lineup for the Sea Dogs. The puck is at center. The clock is set. We do have Leighton Carruthers, who will take the draw against Elliot Denoye. Denoye wins, and we're underway here at TD Station. Horvath, cross-ice pass that's chipped into Sea Dog territory, turned back at the line by Gartley. Now in over the line. Busting in through the middle. Carruthers momentarily had the puck back to the point. Gartley, cross-ice to Villeneuve. He loads, shot off the shin pad. Far corner. Savoie battles along the boards. It's knocked free to the line, but kept in at the line by Gartley. Now the regroup by the Mooseheads. They'll clear the long lead pass. It's off the stick of Villeneuve. That won't be icing. Then the shot. Sharp angle on top of the net. Bounces around behind the goal. That was Leroux. A sharp angle and off Patenau's stick up on top of the goal. Puck back to center ice. Now Bizot in front of the Mooseheads bench. Sends it in deep, and the Sea Dogs on a complete line change. Why not? Behind his own goal for Halifax. Why not? Cameron Why Not? That's a classic South Shore, Nova Scotia name. Puck at center, broken up, and dumped in deep by Furlong. Patenau leaves it for Poirier, wearing one of the alternate captains. It's on to Waugh. He's got Lawrence with him. Waugh walking to Lawrence. Lawrence, sharp angle. Tries to jam it through. It's still loose. Top of the point position now. Poirier dancing along. He comes down low, still controlling, still with the puck. Jeremy Poirier looking for support, finds it in DeRush. He goes cross ice. To Waugh, high slot. Giroux can't get a stick on it. Puck goes through the blue paint and down the ice. That'll be no icing, and it was off a Sea Dog stick. And Charlie DeRush will settle things down behind his own goal as fresh legs over the boards for St. John. Now out to center ice. Giroux. He'll send the puck in deep, in after it, in behind the goal. His man is jammed. That's Leonard. He's worked over. Puck worked free. Burns swoops in, comes up with the puck, sidesteps the check of Furlong, and out come the Mooseheads to center. Puck is sent in deep by Foston and along the boards. They jam. Now loose in the corner. McCollum goes up the near side. Turn back. Pettin, sharp angle shot. And a whistle on the play as Noah Patenau gathers it in. And that's the first challenge for me, Joe, as we see Kyle Pettin wearing 74, and my stat sheet says 9.
Well, I guess we can apologize for everything from numbers to pronunciations in advance.
Yes, we should have got that out of the way earlier on. Any slaughtering of names, especially on the Mooseheads, please, family members, forgive us.
We'll get a pronunciation guide at some point, for sure.
At some point, exactly. And the league does provide that later in the season, and as broadcasters, we are eternally grateful. That draw is won by Burns. Villeneuve for St. John. Up the near side boards to center. Villeneuve over center will slide it in deep. Giroux will go in hard after it. Correct that. That was Leonard. Puck in the skates of Myron. He's at his own blue line. Relays to Denoye, who sends it in behind the Sea Dog goal. 17-15 remaining in the first period. No score. At center ice, Leonard, long lead pass broken up by Furlong. Hunt will go back for Halifax. Behind the goal, relays to Leroux. Leroux at center. He's in over the line. High slot, tries to feed it through to Denoye. Shot, he gets it away, and Patenau makes the save. Loose puck cleared, and it's Burns off the center. Burns on to Drover. Drover sidesteps the check, still with the puck. Drover tries to get it through to Mcdonald. Can't come up with it. In comes Drover once more. Now Mcdonald puts the hit on along the boards. Orr, turn back, blind pass, and that's going to go out to center ice. And it's retrieved by Poirier. Cross ice to DeRush. He'll wrist it in. McLaren out of his goal for Halifax. Up the near side boards. Knocked down by Hunt. He sends it out to center ice. Dancing in was Duma. Patno comes up with it, clears it up the far side boards. Duma still battling behind the goal, and it's DeRush. He'll flip it high in the air over the heads of the players, and it's Wynot forced to turn back to his defensive partner Furlong. Furlong will flip it high in the air. It's gloved down by Poirier. He chips it off the boards to Bizot. For St. John onto DeRush, who's jumped up and into the rush. In over the line. Nice move by Stairs. He finds the late man coming. Shot saved by McLaren. He wasn't sure where it was momentarily. But a nice play as Leighton Carruthers coming late on the play. Gets the shot away, and McLaren makes the save.
Still a bit of a feeling out process for both teams here, and I think with the crowd being preseason plus pandemic, that could be something the Mooseheads don't have to worry about the cliche of taking the crowd out early in this one right now.
No, that will be repeated a number of times in this this new pandemic age that we're in. Play back underway. Puck in St. John territory. Pettin, sharp angle. That's steered away. Far side, along the boards. It's worked free. Shot. Patno steers it. Pettin retrieves for Halifax. Pettin back to the point. Tessier looks in. Shot. That's redirected, but not to the goal. And then finally followed up there by Pettin. Puck is flipped high into the air off the glass. That's not going to have the legs. And so Tessier will come up with the puck behind the Halifax goal. He's waiting, looking for support. Foston will circle and get the pass. Foston to center for Halifax. Tries to get it through. It's turned back, and it's Villeneuve. Loses the puck in the clearing attempt. LaHoo. And it's going to be the first penalty of the game, and it's going to be a hook. And that was, in the old days, Joe, they would call that a good penalty. Did they still use that term anymore?
I believe so. I mean, that was a pass right in the slot, and I think it's Giroir had to reach the stick in and get it up a bit close to the gloves, and of course that's going to be a penalty every time. But yeah, it took away a high-quality scoring chance.
So Giroir in the penalty box, the first penalty of the hockey game. The draw is won by Halifax, but it's all the way back down the ice. Dubé, for the Mooseheads, will leave it to his defensive partner, Wynot. He's being shadowed by Lawrence. Wynot up ice to his own blue line for the Mooseheads. His lead pass, and they are in the zone. Cross ice pass to LaRue. He loses it. Back come the Sea Dogs. They try to turn into a 2-on-1, but it's followed by Villeneuve. Here we go. Villeneuve, 2-on-1. Shot. That's off the blocker. And the high stick. And it's going to be Reynolds who took the stick in the face as he was driving the front of the goal. So just like that, the Mooseheads will take their first penalty. And so we're going to see some 4-on-4. We've seen a lot of that in recent years as teams will go very offensive-minded on their PKs. And we have certainly seen the Sea Dogs with their defensive, offensive abilities, the defenseman's ability to jump into rushes. And there was an example as William Villeneuve turned that into a scoring opportunity. Now Poirier walking in. Poirier still with the puck around the goal. Poirier. He tries to go back to the point. It's knocked down. This is a piece of it, but DeRush able to keep the puck in. Up the near side boards. The battle for it, and out to center ice. It's chopped to center. Now the drop pass, and it's Charlie DeRush. DeRush on the stairs. He'll fire it in hard. McLaren couldn't knock it down. It gets to the blue line. Held in. Orr circles in front of his own goal. Along the far boards. It is Orr. He's being worked over by Burns. Still 4-on-4 for another 39 seconds. Stairs. Tough along the boards. Back to DeRush. Cross ice to Poirier. Poirier to DeRush. DeRush looking. Shot. That's off McLaren's stick up into the netting. And that will bring the stoppage in play. And already I've realized I've made another mistake, Joe. Not real serious, but we've got Liam Payton is number 74. And not to be confused with Kyle Pettin, who is number 9.
So you were right all along.
I was right all along and correcting myself when I didn't have to. There we go. Villeneuve at the point, spins, and it's intercepted out to center ice. Byracek, he puts the brakes on. Still 16 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4. Horvath will backpedal all the way to his own zone. Cross ice pass, chipped out to center ice, and it's Horvath. He turns back, didn't like what he saw, and it's a regroup. Tomlinson, he'll fire it right on Patno. Had to be careful with that long dump in, and the Sea Dogs will have 26 seconds to work with on a power play. McCollum begins up ice in front of his own goal on to Villeneuve. Beyond his reach, and Tomlinson easily knocks it down. Here comes Desnoyers walking in. Desnoyers very dangerous, and he's turned back by Lawrence. Again, the example of a team on the penalty kill that will go offense very quickly if they see the opportunity. McCollum will lead it for Villeneuve. Villeneuve, long lead pass. That's off the leg. Desnoyers in over the line. Leroux tries to feed it through. That's broken up by McCollum at the last second, and we're back to 5-on-5. Near corner. Sea Dogs territory. They pin along the boards. Lawrence chops it free. Villeneuve will retrieve. Near sideboards. It's relayed out to center ice by Giroux. In after it and under pressure is Robinson. His stick is lifted. Puck goes back to the point. Fake shot by Poirier. He's down into the far corner. Leaves it for Lawrence. Lawrence back to the point. DeRoche looks. Shot. Nice blocker save by McLaren. He's looked steady once more in goal for the Mooseheads. Poirier walks the line. Poirier shot. Fans on it. Knocks his man down. Puck worked out to center ice, and it's Desnoyers. He seems to be everywhere. Puck is dumped into Sea Dog territory, and Poirier will wind up. Nice move at center. Poirier still dancing. In over the line. Poirier looks. Shot. Big rebound. And McLaren gets the rebound as Drover drives the goal. Hopping on that huge rebound, but McLaren was up to the task. Mooseheads will lift and take the pressure off. That's going to go the length of the ice. Patno will leave it, and that's going to bring the face-off deep in Moosehead territory.
It's a nice play by Poirier, just putting it on net, almost like a shot pass to the low off the pad for a big rebound. And you look at the stats from last year with the Sea Dogs, Poirier had 261 shots on goal. No other Sea Dog was in the same stratosphere as the second player had 166. So you know he's going to put it on net when he has the opportunity.
Yeah, Jeremy Poirier proving himself to be a tremendous offensive defenseman. And there's no mystery, is there, Joe, when you think about top goal scorers, when you look at their number of shots that they put on goal. I remember your favorite player, Pavel Bure, 52 goals in the NHL, and he would lead the NHL in shots on goal as well.
Back-to-back 60-goal years, actually.
Thank you for correcting me, Joe. High slot, play back underway, knocked out to center ice. It's Villeneuve. He'll go in over the blue line. Villeneuve, a nice move into his skates, still controlling. Puts it out in front. It's through the legs of his man. Fossen knocked to the ice. Oh, here comes Bizot's shot. That's off the blocker of McLaren. That stick hand has been busy for McLaren here this afternoon. Puck could not be held in by Gartley. The center ice. It's chopped free. And Tessier for Halifax. His lead pass in off the glass and in behind the Sea Dogs goal. Fed out to the front by Fossen, intercepted and flipped down into Moosehead territory. Tomlinson will go in after it. The Sea Dogs on a complete line change. Tomlinson will set and quarterback up ice. Tomlinson to Tessier. His lead pass onto the stick of Pettin. Pettin on the backhand, chops it in behind the goal to Payton. Payton to Pettin. Feeds it out in front. That's knocked away. Near sideboards. It's out to center ice. Battled along the boards. Tessier will wrist it in behind the Sea Dog goal, and McCollum will retrieve. 9:12 remaining in the first period. We are still scoreless. Pettin to Peyton. Peyton shot. Patino for a moment there was figuring out where the puck was. It was still in his equipment, but I know that creepy feeling when you've made the save, but you're not quite sure where the puck is. But it was still in his equipment, so he breathes a sigh of relief. Shots on goal in favor of the Sea Dogs, 7-6. So the feel of the first period, Joe, is that Sea Dogs have certainly had the better quality of shot on McLaren, but it's a pretty close affair back and forth. To center ice, Lawrence is in over the line. He drops it. There's the redirect, and they score. Oh, that's a beauty. Joshua Waugh to Lawrence. And the Sea Dogs get on the board first. And a nice passing play to put the Sea Dogs up 1-0. And McLaren not a chance.
Yeah, a great give and go with Lawrence, and just a little touch to get that puck elevated over the pad. Beautiful play.
Especially when you get a redirect that close to the goal. It's physically impossible to react to a redirect at that stage. And so a real nice combination for the Sea Dogs. Up 1-0. Play back underway. Giroir, his pass behind his man Lawrence, the goal scorer. Now Waugh circles. Joshua Waugh to center. He gets a burst of speed in and over the line. Stick handling. Feeds it through to Giroir. That shot over top of the net. Held in by Villeneuve. His shot, there's a redirect attempt by Waugh. Gartley keeps it down low to Lawrence, to Waugh. Sea Dogs, a bit of a feel right now that they're starting to take command of this first period along the far boards. Intercepted by Dumas. His lead pass to Leroux. At the line, and Leroux is bodied by Villeneuve. He dumps it in, and the Mooseheads making line changes as long and as well as the Sea Dogs. Villeneuve behind his own goal. 8 minutes left here in the first period. Sea Dogs up 1-0. Lead pass to Mcdonald. He's turned back at the center line. Jumping in is Foston. He's intercepted by Poirier, who gets belted to the ice. Nice solid body check delivered and back in over the line. Stairs in front to Drover, just off his stick. Nice play there. Here comes DeRoche, scores! Charlie DeRoche snaps one. High blocker. Sea Dogs up 2-0.
A bit of a car wreck in front of the Mooseheads net as McLaren did all he could to get back into position, but DeRoche with just a great shot high on the blocker side.
Yeah, that's it's tough enough to play goal, but when you get taken out by your own teammate, and then, as you say, he managed to get back into the goal, but that throws you off when you get bumped like that. And a nice effort. Stairs attempted Drover. That one almost connected, and then the play continued. Charlie DeRoche, high slot, and boy, he is deadly accurate. Here comes Drover walking in. He feeds it through, and it's into the pads of McLaren. Momentarily, it looked like that was going to go through McLaren. A real nice burst of speed by Alex Drover, a Channel Portabass Newfoundland native. Opportunity to chat with him before the game, and said there might be some family and friends tuning in the YouTube broadcast. And he is flying. Furlong behind his own goal for Halifax. Up ice to his own blue line. Furlong backhands it in. McCollum leaves it for Rude. Rude's pass to Drover, and he's off the center. Here comes Drover to center ice. In over the blue line. Will send it in behind the goal. Furlong will get it first. McCollum pinches in, flips high in the air. That's going to be up into the netting and bring the stoppage in play. And we are down to 6:59 left in this first period. Well, it seems to be a bit of a tilt to the ice right now, Joe, as the Sea Dogs have sort of found their way, and they look pretty loose and pretty confident at this moment.
I was going to say, confidence seems to be the key word, at least for the first few minutes into this first period. We'll see if Mooseheads can weather this a little bit.
Well, the veteran line on for Halifax. That's Elliot Denoyer, who wins the draw, and McLaren, the veteran goaltender, says we'll just slow things down and do it all over again and not take any chances. And so it will be Carruthers and Desnoyers. Desnoyers wins the draw, and that puck is sent the length of the ice. It's not going to have the legs. Gartley around his own goal for St. John. Desnoyers along the boards. Puck is in behind the Sea Dog net, and Villeneuve will look. Cross ice pass to his defensive partner, Gartley. We got a fight, and it's Bizot along with LaRue. Here we go. Bizot and LaRue, and that is solid lefts from Bizot. And I'm not sure LaRue knew he had a lefty that he was going to deal with. And he is throwing. Spirited contest here. Riley Bizot, the lefty. And that was Zachary LaRue, who, well, I've got to say maybe it's because I'm partial, Joe, but I got to say that was in favor of Bizot. But
yeah, I mean, give LaRue credit for stepping in, saying that's one way of trying to weather the onslaught, is trying to spark their team. But I agree with you. I don't think he was prepared for a lefty in Bizot, that's for sure.
Not that you had a whole lot of fights to deal with in your junior hockey days, Joe, but were you a lefty or righty?
I was a righty, but if I found myself in that situation, I shouldn't have been there, that's for sure.
Well, it looks like it's decided that was an even agreement for the fight. There's nothing up on the board. So we are going to continue on at 5-on-5. So Bizot and LaRue will take a break in the penalty box. Along the boards, that's Alex Drover's shot off the blocker of McLaren. How many times have I said that in the first period? In over the line, puck is dumped in by Foston. Patno sets for his defenseman. Villeneuve falls. Foston leaves it to the sharp angle shot by Vidicek, and it's out and down the ice. No icing on the play. Hunt will get to it behind the Mooseheads goal. Near sideboards by Robinson, back to Hunt. His pass out to center ice. Foston will get to it first. He's 1-on-3, turns it back and decides he's got to look for help. Vidicek checked far side boards. It's knocked free to Drover. He sends it out to center ice and in over the line. The drop pass, that's Poirier. High slot, feeds it through. Oh, a dandy play back to Burns. And we talked about how loose and confident the Sea Dogs are looking here in this first period. That was absolute smooth sailing. Great play by Poirier to Burns.
Beautiful work, and that doesn't help my narrative of Poirier with his 266 shots, 261 shots last season, but he put it wide open, tap-in goal for Burns. Beautiful play. Great hands and great pass.
Well, it was credit to Jeremy Poirier's vision, because he spied Burns parked off the side of the goal, and Burns, that's his office, although it's usually on the other side, and he just doesn't get much easier for Brady Burns. But a super play by Jeremy Poirier, and of course Burns, who has a nose for the net. Now the puck rolls in on McLaren, and he will try and settle things down. This was a pretty evened up matchup to start off with shots on goal, but the Sea Dogs in this latter stages of this first period now enjoying a 3-0 lead, and the Mooseheads are on their heels just a little bit. Reynolds will take the draw and win it. Burns in to help out. He's along the boards. Pinned. Reynolds in to lend a hand. Puck is worked free. Flipped in the air. And that was Payton who had it go off him and out of play. So they're going to take that face-off, I believe, back inside. Face-off will come to the left of Cole McLaren. And it looks like Samuel Dubé made a move, and so steps in Liam Payton, the former Charlottetown Islander. McCollum at the line, keeps it in. That is high in the air, knocked down, but Waugh sends it down to Lawrence. Lawrence behind the goal. Giroir, far side boards, flipped high in the air, held at the line aggressively. Sea Dogs still pressing. Waugh stick handles his way out of a phone booth to McCollum. McCollum down from the point, drops it down to Lawrence out in front. Giroir off his stick. And back come the Mooseheads. Chipped out the center, that's Orr. Orr skates into it himself, and his pocket is picked by Cale McCollum. Nice defensive play. Out to center ice, it's Giroir. Walks the line. Lawrence able to stay onside. Giroir, high slot to Waugh. His stick is tied up, and it's fed out to center ice. Here comes Petten in over the line. He loses the puck, picked by Villeneuve. With it now behind his own goal. William Villeneuve past to Burns at his own blue line. He turns to center. Burns walks in, tries to feed it through the stairs. It's off a skate. Sea Dogs will have to tag up. That buys time for Horvath behind the Moosehead goal. 4 minutes exactly left here in the first period. Sea Dogs up 3-0. Near sideboards. Tomlinson is in his skates. McDonald pounces on him, feeds it through the stairs. Stairs tries to get it to Burns. It bounces free at the line. No, Gartley can't get to it. He's forced to back into his own zone. Cross ice to Villeneuve. Lead pass to center. That's Stairs. Stairs will wrist it in hard on the glass, keeping McLaren in his goal. Horvath behind his own goal to Tomlinson. He'll lift it in the air. Duma bouncing around. Stairs will send it in behind the Mooseheads goal. Good sustained pressure by the Sea Dogs at the line. Chopped and held momentarily, but knocked out by Desnoyers. Backpedaling. Darush at his own blue line. His pass behind the man, Burns. At the line, it's held there and kept onside. Viracek will send the puck in behind the Sea Dog goal. Poirier off the boards. Viracek pounces on it. He's knocked to the ice. Cam McDonald off the glass and out to center. Stairs. He's being checked. Flips it high in the air. They're heading for a line change. Waugh will get to it first. Waugh, high slot. Goes back to Poirier. Wrist shot. Redirect! And McLaren makes the stop. That was Charles Savoie. A nice tip. Now Savoie with it. Shot. That's wide of the goal. Savoie on the bounce off the backboards, and Cole McLaren suddenly is under siege here in this first period. That's the 15th shot of the period by St. John. They've still got 2 minutes and 29 seconds left to work with.
As we were saying at the intro, the book on the Sea Dogs is that they really let the shots fly early and often. They're on pace for another 40-plus shot game today.
It certainly has seemed to be a trend. Play back underway. High slot, knocked down. Petten will backhand it out to center. McCollum in his skates. McCollum can't get it out. It's off a shin pad, but that forces the Mooseheads back into their tag-up position. Now McCollum to center. Here comes McCollum with a burst of speed. McCollum still with it. Couple moves. In behind the net. It's left there, and it's picked up by Robinson. He loses the puck to Waugh. Retrieved by Petten, and he's off the center. Payton walks around, pinned against the boards. Worked over by Rude. It's kick free. Orr goes back to the point. The shot, that's wide of the goal. I don't believe Patino got a piece of it. Waugh will bank it off the boards back to McCollum behind the Sea Dog goal. Long lead pass. That's going to be icing. It rolls through the crease, but Hunt will tag it. And that'll bring the face-off deep in Sea Dog territory with 1:34 left here in the first period. As I mentioned earlier, the Sea Dogs' next action will be in Cape Breton Friday and Saturday. Friday night, 7 p.m. And Saturday afternoon, a 1 p.m. matchup. 2 preseason games in Sydney against the Eagles. Face off to the left of Patino. It'll be Desnoyers. And I was going to say Desnoyers and Carruthers, and yes, it still will be them. Consistently, Desnoyers winning his face-offs. Fed out in front, a nice play, defensive play by Waugh to lift the stick of Zachary Leroux. In front of the Mooseheads bench, they battle along the boards. It's worked free. Gartley at his own line with Villeneuve. Back to Gartley in Sea Dog territory. Gartley still not liking what he sees, hangs onto it, feeds Drover off the bench. Drover, a nice move to center. Here comes Drover over the blue line. Drover, 1-on-3, loses the puck, and the Mooseheads send it down into Sea Dog territory. Tessier on the aggressive forecheck against Leonard. Fed out in front to Noyer. Nice shot and saved by Patenot. Now Villeneuve in over the line. Villeneuve just makes the move at the blue line, and that forces his teammate offside. So the faceoff will come outside the Halifax zone with 48.1 seconds left. The Sea Dogs up 3-0. It'll be Lawrence, Awa, and Giroir. Lawrence wins it back to DeRoche, sends the puck in deep, and the Sea Dogs pour in at the line. DeRoche keeps the puck in, lifts high in the air, bounces. Lawrence, and I think that's down the pants of Jake Furlong. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right?
On the back of the jersey almost, it looked like.
I think it was, I thought it fell in to his pants, which was, the jersey was sort of holding it there like a trampoline or like a, anyway, stoppage and play. That's all we know. Giroir, far corner. Lawrence in the help. Puck work free. Tomlinson over to his man, Voracek. To the line. Poirier, nice move, still controlling. Poirier walking on the backhand. Throws it through the blue paint, and no one can get a stick on it. Out to center ice, it's Foston. He's checked nicely by Poirier, who jumps quickly back into the play. Now at the line, Tomlinson, and they blow it offside. And there is a night. And now suddenly Poirier gets reefed. I think that's Tomlinson. I'm not sure if anything will come of that. What I liked on that play, Joe, is that Poirier, offensive. We've seen lots of that in his game. But all of a sudden, he's back defensively. Now Poirier is getting directed off the ice. And Tomlinson. So I'm not sure where they're going. Are they going to the dressing room? With 5.9 seconds left, I'd say head for the dressing room, get a towel.
I think it was a bit too much chit-chat for the refs' liking, telling them to settle down. They weren't settling down, so they'll go to the dressing room for the duration here of the period.
Well, nice. Jeremy Poirier has had a very strong first period. He did not play in the first preseason game here, so this is my first look at him in live action. And he really looks like a force here with the Sea Dogs. So that's going to bring the period to a conclusion. We'll take a water break and then be back with a rundown summary of the first and chat with Joe Smith as to his thoughts on what he saw in the first period. Of course, this is his first look at both teams, so he's a blank slate. He's a fresh face. So we'll catch up with him in a moment. You're listening to Sea Dogs Live and catching us on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to TD Station. We are in the first period intermission. Bruce Smith and Joe Smith bringing you the broadcast in this preseason matchup between the St. John Sea Dogs and Halifax Mooseheads. We'll give you a summary of the first period. Pretty evenly played first period. The scoring got underway at the 11:07 mark of the first. Josh Lawrence picking up his first preseason goal. Assists going to Joshua Waugh and Charlie DeRush. The Sea Dogs up 1-0, and that really seemed to turn the tide a little bit. As we talked about the confidence building in the Sea Dogs lineup, because it was Charlie DeRush at 12:24, his third of the preseason. Assists going to Dawson Stairs and Alex Drover. That making it, of course, 2-0 in favor of St. John, and it continued. Brady Burns fed beautifully by Jeremy Poirier. Peter Reynolds coming up with the other assist. That came at the 14:23 mark, and that gave St. John a 3-0 lead. That is what they have taken to the dressing room in the first period intermission. The shots on goal, as we mentioned, the first part of the period, it was pretty evenly matched up, but suddenly the Sea Dogs began to take command, and they outshot Halifax 15-9. We talked about St. John now becoming quite willing to put pucks on the net from anywhere and everywhere, and have started to outshoot opponents. We haven't seen that in a long time. We certainly didn't see it last season, as the Sea Dogs were consistently outshot and relied on their goaltenders to keep them in contests. But right now the Sea Dogs have begun a habit of outshooting their opponents. We had a couple penalties, a few penalties in the period. We had a fighting majors going to Zachary LaRue and Riley Bezo. That was offsetting. And then the first penalty going to Nicholas Giroir and then Jordan Dumas. Nothing happening on that as far as the power play was concerned. Those were looked after. And then in the dying seconds of this first period, Brendan Tomlinson and Jeremy Poirier picking up unsportsmanlike conduct. So they'll start the period in the penalty box, and they'll have lots of rest getting ready for the second. As I say, the Sea Dogs look pretty good. Joe, your thoughts on that first period?
Yeah, just to go along with what you were saying, that a little back and forth at the beginning, and St. John kind of started to push the pace a bit. I'm sure there's plenty the Mooseheads would like to revisit going into the second, and lots that St. John would like to build on. But one thing head coach of the Sea Dogs, Greg Gilbert, spoke this week about. His quote was that these kids have to understand what it takes to win hockey games in the QMJHL, and part of his approach, he said, is just repetition, which sounds kind of simple, but he wants to cut out the overthinking on the ice. And that's everything from won or lost face-offs in which zones, and dealing with certain power play formations and different PK setups, and so it was interesting to see kind of the read and react approach of the Sea Dogs in that period, and I think there's lots that they're pleased about moving into the second.
Yeah, sometimes it's not rocket science. It's, as you say, the repetition. You do it so many times, and then suddenly it becomes instinctive. You recognize situations, you know instinctively what you have to do. You don't even have to think about it anymore because you've done it so many times. And it can sound real simple, but, well, it takes practice to react to situations without thinking, and that's how it works. So we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's a busy afternoon in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. We are just getting some scores in, and it will be, well, not likely we'll get final scores in from too many places, but this afternoon, Shawinigan is in Quebec. They are scoreless, and we have Baie-Comeau, who are playing in Chicoutimi. We do have a score there. It's 1-0 Baie-Comeau in the early going. Cape Breton is in Moncton this afternoon. That is a 4 p.m. start, so we are about 15 minutes away from puck drop. And that also means Victoriaville and Rimouski are a 4 p.m. start. That is Atlantic. And then Val-d'Or is in Rouen. Gatineau is in Sherbrooke. And Joe, Gatineau, do they have a building to play in at the moment? I saw a picture of an abandoned Sears department store. I wasn't sure what that meant. Is there any update coming out of Gatineau, where you were there basically 2 weeks ago?
I'm not sure what the latest is. I know there was talk that it would be some point this season that the building would be ready, and at least last season was the talk of do they make the move mid-season or stay at the Robert Gaertang. Now I'm sure more information could have come in. That was the latest I heard, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, certainly St. John is glad to have a home here at TD Station, and it is, I guess we're into the new normal, although I've heard it said the temporary normal, and let's hope that's the case. But nice to hear some cheering on the goals. The Sea Dogs producing some offense. We've seen them produce offense this season. They can score. That is a problem, though, for the Sea Dogs has been defensively. And so I would think that head coach Greg Gilbert, along with Jeff Cowan and Stefan Legion, his assistants, would be quite pleased with that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I would say. And if you look at 2 seasons ago versus last season, there's been improvements that have been made on the defensive side that I'm sure the Sea Dogs are looking to build on this season. When you look at plus minus, the Sea Dogs' leading scorer last season, William Villeneuve, he improved from his rookie season by plus 47, that's quite a jump. And Brady Burns, second leading scorer by plus 46. Jeremy Poirier was up plus 16, even though he's recognized that he wants to improve on the defensive side as well. But yes, lots to be encouraged by.
Well, certainly the nature of Quebec or junior hockey is player development, and the Sea Dogs were so young 2 seasons ago, and then to think of William Villeneuve, this is his 3rd season in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and what a difference from the first time I ever saw him step on the ice here at TD Station. He is really coming to his own. Last season was a big year for him. He looked very, very confident, improved tremendously, and then he's just simply built on that. He's walked in here, and you can see the experience, the hard work in the gym, the hard work on ice somewhere, and it is paying off richly for the St. John Sea Dogs. And of course, Jeremy Poirier had a very strong first period as well.
And you can't put a price on confidence. It makes all the difference in the world, from just squeezing the stick too tight, not wanting to make the same mistake you made last shift, versus getting a few good shifts under your belt, and how that just grows your confidence. You could even see in that first period the Sea Dogs just hanging on to the puck a little bit longer, waiting for the right play to develop, which something the Mooseheads, I'm sure, would like to adopt for their second period.
Well, we'll see if that carries into the second. The Sea Dogs, mentioned earlier, they are on the road for their next 2 games in Cape Breton. It'll be Friday night. They'll be playing in Sydney, and then Saturday afternoon. The next game here at TD Station, and it will round out the preseason schedule. It'll be Friday, September 25th, versus Moncton, and it's a 7 p.m. start. And that will conclude the preseason schedule. The regular season for St. John begins on the road. They will be in Bathurst on Friday, October 2nd, start the 2020-2021 season. How many times can you say 20? And then they return here to TD Station for their home opener on Saturday night, October 3rd. That will be against the Charlottetown Islanders. That'll be our first look at Charlottetown. And so the regular season will get underway. Of course, we recognize the Ontario Hockey League and Western Hockey League will be starting their regular season much later. And I have to confess, initially when the declarations were made, I believe first the Western Hockey League announced the December start, and then Ontario, I just had almost made the assumption that the Quebec League would follow suit. No, they did not. They continued on, and the plan was in place that they could do this. And I think a big part, Joe, couple factors. One, no U.S.-based teams to have to navigate an international border. And secondly, the fact of how well the Maritimes have done in this pandemic and the loosening of restrictions and the freedoms that have sort of come back to our communities here in the Maritimes. And all of a sudden, you could see a natural dividing of the league, and it had always been there. 3 divisions in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, 1 in the Maritimes, and 2 divisions in Quebec. And suddenly you go, you know what? We can play a regular season here in the Maritimes. 6 teams. Sounds like, gee, 6 teams, but the NHL was 6 teams, well, before you were born, but I can actually remember those days.
Yeah, it was. It's been all about COVID case numbers for the last 5 months, and as you said, the Maritimes have done extremely well at keeping those numbers down, and that's made all the difference. I know Quebec, I believe, for those other 2 divisions have some slightly stricter guidelines, certainly with attendance. But yeah, it's great to have hockey back.
Yeah, it sure feels nice. I mean, of course, you know, we still see the differences or the pandemic reality that we're dealing with. To see the coaching staff on the bench with masks and goggles, I just can't imagine that as a coach, but that's the guidelines that have been put in place for the safety of players. And so that is what has to happen. Of course, as we walked into the building, we were masked, we were temperature checked, we were fill out the questionnaire. And thankfully, when we got up here to the press box, we are in glass or plexiglass partitions, so protected from others, but we are at least able to take our masks off. Otherwise, it would be a bit of a muffled call of the game.
I think, yeah, the pronunciation guide would have been the least of our worries at that point, for sure.
That's for sure. Both teams are back on the ice. If you're tuning in on the YouTube channel, you can see it. And if you're on Sea Dogs Live, you have to take our word for it. Noah Patno will defend the goal to our right. He has taken his spot, and Cole McLaren, the 20-year-old for the Halifax Mooseheads, is now got his crease prepared to our left. So we'll be underway here momentarily. It'll be 4-on-4 with LaRue and Poirier in the penalty box, serving their time. So they'll have some open ice to play with. Lawrence and Waugh, the forwards up front. Not surprising to see Desnoyers back out on the ice with LaRue. And we're underway. Puck at center in a scrum. It's finally knocked free. Desnoyers sends it back to his defenseman, Horvath. Horvath now to Wynot. Mooseheads forced back into their own zone. Try to get something going. There's stick checked by Lawrence. And they're offside, so that'll blow the play down. That 4-on-4 format, of course, 3-on-3 gets really wild in the overtime, but 4-on-4, Joe, it really becomes a bit of a one-on-one matchups all over the ice.
Yeah, it's about finding open ice, and that's Mooseheads being very patient there, but there's no lanes opening up. No one able to break free from their man.
Darash walks his own blue line to Giroir. Back to Darash, it's off his stick and into Halifax territory. Why not under pressure to Horvath? Horvath backhands it up to center ice, and here comes Payton. Payton puts the brakes on, looking for support. Tries to go back to the point. That's off the stick of Giroir. Up and a souvenir for the fans. We've got 1:05 left in the 4-on-4. Face-off will come to the left of Noah Patno in goal for St. John. Fresh legs over the boards for the Sea Dogs. Desnoyers, LaRue will stay. Robinson is paired up with Furlong at defense. At the line, it's kept in by Robinson. Gartley under pressure, around the back of his own goal with a burst of speed. He's off the center. banks it in behind Stairs, but it's onside. It goes into McLaren. He'll take no chances, and a little bit of a gathering there on the side of the goal. We talked about the 6-team league, Joe. It's going to we're going to get very familiar with one another when it comes to the teams, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I really think that you can really develop some good intense rivalries, and it's going to be a fun season. Play back underway. Puck is lifted down into Sea Dog territory. Gartley under pressure to Villeneuve behind his own goal for St. John. He'll wait. Wearing one of the alternate captain A's to Mcdonald. Loses the puck at the Mooseheads blue line. LaRue will send it the length of the ice. He's the wrong side of center, so that will come all the way back. LaRue pleading something, but I don't think he's going to get any sympathy from the officials. Down to 20 seconds left in the penalty to Poirier and Tomlinson. And they'll be sprung back onto the ice. Carruthers will take the draw. He loses it to Denoyer, who has possibly won every faceoff he's taken so far here this afternoon. Denoyer with the puck to center for Halifax. Move and in over the line, still controlling. Slides it in deep. He's going to head off for a line change. Charlie DeRush with a burst to his own blue line. DeRush chips it in. He'll go after it himself. Why not? And DeRush battle for it behind the Moosehead goal. It's sprung free, fed out in front. And that was Carruthers wide open, and he just missed. Now in on the line, the shot on goal. That's steered away. That was Bizot. To center ice. Tomlinson tries to get it in deep. Can't. They battle it in front of the Mooseheads bench, and it goes up and out of play.
Carruthers is going to want that one back. That's a great opportunity, a great chance, and he just didn't get much on the shot.
Yeah, I think he was almost surprised that it came to him, and you know, it suddenly, there it was, you know, live and living color, and he just whiffed on it. Just didn't get a full shot away. McLaren was thankful for that. Play back underway, puck deep in Sea Dog territory along the near side boards. It's work free. Hunt, cross ice. Kept in, shot, sharp angle on Patnaud. He steers it away. That was Orr. Far side boards. It's worked free. At the line, held in by Hunt. Intercepted by Poirier. He settles things down in his own zone. Long lead pass into the skates of Leonard. Off his skates and slides in behind the Halifax goal. Puts the heavy hit on. Feeds it out in front. No one could get a stick on it. Poirier circles it in front of his own blue line. Shot. That's off a leg and into the near corner. Battle along the boards. Drover tied up. Poirier pinches in. Puck is flipped high in the air. Orr will get to it for Halifax. He goes off the glass and hits his man Bizot. Correct that. That's rude in the face. Still pressure behind the Halifax goal. Veracek tries to go up the boards. Poirier. They tie up. Finally, it's work free, and Poirier sends it to the far side. Orr will skate into it, and he's out the center. Orr for the Mooseheads. Flips it in. It bounces. Nice stop by Patnaud. That was dangerous. Now, the clearing attempt picked off, and that's blocked away by Patnaud. Waugh for St. John. Crosses the center ice red line, slides it in. In comes Robinson, hit by Lawrence. Puck is flipped high in the air to center ice. Backpedaling is Gartley. Gartley, he's being shadowed nicely by Miron. Out to center. Knocked down, and the Mooseheads continue to push St. John back into their own end with a good forecheck. Now it's Lawrence. He can't come up with the pass. Mooseheads frustrating and filling up the neutral zone. Sea Dogs not able to freewheel now. In over the line. Here come the Mooseheads. Shot! That one didn't miss by much. That off the stick of Payton, the former Islander. Now Payton with the puck goes back. And out to center ice. Denoyer. Real smooth player. Puts the brakes on, sends it to the far side. Gartley up behind his man Waugh. And Tomlinson will circle and out to center. Flips it in deep. In aggressively, LaRue. under pressure by Gartley. At the line, kept in, shot. That's picked off, and Giroux is off the center ice for St. John. Backhands it towards Lawrence. He chops at it, but he's headed off. Tomlinson now under pressure. Cross ice pass to Wynot. Long lead pass intercepted by DeRoche, and he's off. Gets tied up and at the blue line. He is offside, and that will bring a face-off outside the Halifax blue line.
Bit of a sloppy period to start off for both teams. Be interested in seeing the turnovers here in the first 5 minutes. I think both teams are wanting to kind of force something that's not there, at least so far.
Certainly it appears that the Mooseheads, not liking the freewheeling that was taking place in the latter stages of the first period, have certainly clogged things up. So it has lost a bit of the flow. At the line, Poirier for St. John. Looking, doesn't find a shooting lane, goes cross ice. That is off the stick of McLaren, high in the air, and stares. He goes back to DeRoche, cross ice to Poirier. They've looked good together. Shot, and it's gobbled up by McLaren, and he had to be real careful as he had Cam McDonald and Brady Burns hunting. They were like two dogs sitting there. Well, let's say sea dogs sitting there. And McLaren, nice job of controlling the rebound because they were ready to pounce.
A nice patience from Poirier at the point. Pettin was in the lane. He just slowed up and pulled it into his body, opening up the lane to get that shot through, too.
Carruthers takes the draw. That's as close as Carruthers has come against Denoyer. Now, puck rolls through the paint. That was Savoie. High slot. Carruthers shot. That's off a leg. Bizot goes back to the point. McCollum shot. That's off a skate. And it's flipped up to the air, but McCollum gloves it down at the blue line. Still controlling. McCollum feeds it through. Savoie. And it was just tipped on the way to him, and he couldn't get it away cleanly. Bizot down to Savoie. Savoie loses the puck. And it's out to center, or out Miron. Feeds it through to Denoyer. McCollum and Denoyer along the boards. In comes Payton to help out in his skates. Drover. They battle for it. Now the shot that goes off a stick high in the air. Rude. He's under pressure along the boards by Duma. Duma feeds it out in front, and it was bouncing. Leroux took a swipe at it but couldn't connect. Tomlinson forced back to his own blue line for Halifax. To Leroux. Relayed deep. McCollum under pressure now from Duma. Works it free. Savoie. Clearing attempt. That was dangerous. Duma almost intercepted. It's knocked down at center ice. Halifax turns St. John back. Now some pressure from the Mooseheads. Flipped high in the air at the line. Tomlinson battles along the boards with Reynolds. Puck is flipped high in the air. Here comes Leonard with Reynolds. Reynolds tries to feed it through. Nice defensive play there by Tessier. Late comer. That's Villeneuve over top of the goal. Around the back of the net. That's Drover looking. He cycles it down below to Leonard. Leonard walks the wall. Up the near side. Drover sends it back in behind the Halifax goal. And it's Reynolds once more with the puck. He loses it. Here come the Mooseheads. It's a 2-on-1. No, it's 2-on-2 as Drover's dropped back. Shot. That goes over top of the net off a stick. And it's flipped by Villeneuve to center. Reynolds, he's got Leonard dancing. Here comes Leonard into the boards. Horvath and Leonard battle. Good solid body contact. At the line, Gartley looks in. Can't find the shooting lane. Walks it. Shot. That's off the blocker of McLaren. Or his body behind the goal, and Horvath retrieves for Halifax. Out to center ice. It's a 2-on-2. Gartley over to help out as Pettin is pressuring for Halifax. Gartley leaves it for Villeneuve. Tries to find his man just beyond the reach of Giroux. It's back into Halifax territory. Why not? To Horvath. Nice play. Horvath, another nice play by the Halifax defenseman. On to center ice. Here comes Orr walking. Burst of speed. It's Orr. Backhand off the shoulder of Papineau. DeRoche knocks it down and clears out to center ice. A foot race. Why not? We'll get to it first for the Mooseheads. He's knocked to the ice. No arm up. Puck is knocked away, and back come the Mooseheads. It's opened up here at TD Station. Puck slides in. DeRoche behind his goal. Clears it to the open wing. Finds Waugh at center. He loses it. And the puck is sent in behind the Halifax goal. Denoyer. He's under pressure from two Sea Dogs. Denoyer still with the puck. Waugh pins him And off the center is Robinson. Robinson for Halifax, a 3-on-2. Drops it off to the wing. Desnoyers, late man, Dumas scores! Oh boy, that was quite a shot. Jordan Dumas. And we saw some nice passing plays from the St. John Sea Dogs in the first period. That was not too shabby for the Mooseheads.
A nice hard cross-ice pass to Dumais, who had enough time to really just set it up and snap it high over the glove side of Patnaud. It's a great passing play.
They have been a very nice-looking line for the Mooseheads. Desnoyers, Leroux, and Dumais. And it looks like the midway point, and they have decided it is time to make the goaltending change. And so this will be our first look at the backup. The backup in this game, Brady James, the rookie. And we've talked about his numbers earlier in the broadcast. He's come in here, a young 17-year-old, and has played very well. Limited action, but still a young goaltender. He has only given up 1 goal on 20 shots. Well, that leaves him with a 1.05 goals against and an outstanding save percentage at .950. So here he goes. He'll likely see some more rubber here this afternoon. Play back underway. Puck in Sea Dog territory. McCollum banks it off the boards to Burns. There's the burst of speed from Burns. Feeds it through. Knocked down in front. Loose puck. And there's the first shot on goal. A nice save by James as he is called upon. Fresh off the bench. That's about 20 seconds in. So welcome to the game. Battle behind the goal. Brady Burns works it free. High slot. That's a shot from Mcdonald. That's wide of the goal. Stairs retrieves for St. John. Back to the point. Cross ice. Rude to McCollum. Back to Rude. To Stairs. Sea Dogs. 5-on-5 controlling. Stairs walking. Stairs behind the goal. Stairs still with it. Looking for something to open up. Cross ice pass to McDonald. It goes off a stick. They're trying to set up Cam McDonald. And someone's going to get a souvenir with that pass that was picked off. Well, we talked about the look at Brady James. Well, over the boards comes Daniel Moody. So obviously the coaching staff going, we're going to split this game. So Daniel Moody, who has just recently been acquired from the Baie-Comeau Drakkar, we're going to get the first penalty of the second period, and it's going to go against Charles Savoie. It's going to be a trip. So Daniel Moody will be waiting for his first shot. And we'll see how he responds. Daniel Moody from Miramichi, 20-year-old. Coming over from the Baie-Comeau Drakkar, a recent addition by Trevor Georgie, and he has been active. Play underway. Dubé at the point with the puck for Halifax. Still with it. He goes back to the point to Wynot. He walks the line to Dubé. Tries to go cross ice as it looked like Desnoyers was going to sneak in the back door. Wynot. Is it Desnoyers? Cross ice, Dubé shot. There's the first stop by Moody. Able to fight that one off. Now along the boards. Kept in by Wynot. The power play for Halifax. Dubé out to Desnoyers. His shot. Loose man in front. That's Dumais again. And that is going to be his second goal of the game. And the first power play. And all of a sudden, the Halifax Mooseheads go not so fast. That first period, the ice began to tilt in favor of St. John. But here in the second, the Mooseheads have had a response.
A tough welcome for Moody into the game. Power play for the Mooseheads and left Dumais left all alone in front off that first shot. Take it to the back end. Tough one for Moody.
Power play for Halifax. Moved that puck around well. And it was Dumais wide open in front. Now a response coming from the Sea Dogs. That was Drover, the shot on goal. He's been busy. Has an assist on the afternoon already. Payton battles at center ice. Leonard, the Newfoundlander, over the line. The shot, that's gloved by the newcomer, James, and so he'll hang on for the face-off. Just realizing, Joe, that's two Newfoundlanders on the ice at the same time, Leonard and Drover.
You would be the first one to notice.
I would.
Sure.
That's true. I would notice that. Anybody that's from Newfoundland, you have a tendency to notice Newfoundlanders. I don't know what that is. Along the far side boards, Reynolds is hog-tied to the ice. Puck is worked free. And out to center come the Mooseheads, 2-on-2. That's Tomlinson. He'll feed it on to Pettin. In over the line. Sorry, that's Peyton. My mistake. Out to center ice. That's DeRush. Tries to spring Drover, who's hunting. Now he comes in looking for the rebound that was casually handled by James. Well, good solid hit by Leonard along the boards. Sea Dogs trying to generate a response with the 2 goals in this second period by the Mooseheads. Drover retrieves the puck, loses it, and it's Orr for Halifax to center. He lifts it, and he's belted to the ice by DeRush. It's a 2-on-1 walking, sharp angle. Moody holds his ground and makes the stop. Burns gathers it in, feeds it on, and it's Mcdonald to center. In over the line, Mcdonald still looking. Drop pass for Burns off the bench. Burns puts the break on, a couple nice moves, tries to find Mcdonald, and it's just beyond his reach. Near sideboard, just lifted out to center ice, and it hit somebody, I believe, at the Sea Dogs bench. So that'll bring the stoppage in play. With 7:25 remaining in the second period, Sea Dogs leading 3-2.
Well, St. John trying to make a response here is a little bit of a flip from the first period. Now they're trying to weather the storm and kind of have a response to the Mooseheads' pressure.
Playback underway. Out to center, that's Furlong. His lead pass to LaRue. LaRue walking in, walks through the blue paint just off his stick as he gained access. Now the redirect didn't get through. Sea Dogs under some good sustained pressure from the Mooseheads, and this is their top line. They're going to try and tie this hockey game in this shift. Puck is knocked out to center. The Sea Dogs control behind their own goal. Dumais on the forecheck. He's got both goals for Halifax. Puck is the center. That's Mcdonald on the stairs. It's a 2-on-1 developing. Stairs walking. Loses the puck. Down he goes. No call on the play. Burns follows up. Burns around the goal. Being checked by Horvath. Drops it to Stairs. Stairs. He's under pressure. To Mcdonald. Good pressure from the Mooseheads. And it's Furlong who will gather the puck behind the Halifax goal. Out to center ice. Desnoyers tries the backhand, knocked down beautifully by Villeneuve, forcing the Mooseheads back. Carruthers leaves it. Bizot off the bench, puts it into the crease, and that is out the other side. Carruthers back to the point, kept in by Villeneuve. He feeds it down to Carruthers. Carruthers high slot. Carruthers still looking. Still with it. Puts it out in front. That's steered away. And the Mooseheads clear. That's Dumais to center. Villeneuve gathers it in. Up to Savoie off the bench. He's in over the blue line. Savoie still with the puck. Stick checked by Horvath, and Savoie knocks the stick out of Horvath's hand, and that's going to be a slashing penalty. So Charles Savoie back to the penalty box. And so Halifax, another power play opportunity. They've already struck on their power play here in the second, and they'd love to do it again.
Those are tough calls for the officials. Had one hand on the stick, so you got to kind of balance both with that would be easier to knock out of one hand than two, but at the same time it was a decent swing of the stick.
Puck is sent the length of the ice. Right on James, Brady James, who has taken over the halfway point of this second period. Or forced back behind his own net, will leave it. And out to center ice comes Furlong. Furlong drops it back. Voracek at the line. The Sea Dogs put a wall up, and that sends the Mooseheads back into their own zone. Once more, Furlong, his lead pass into the skates of Peyton. Now near sideboards. Voracek knocked to the ice, held at the line by Furlong. Now Voracek again with the puck. flipped down the ice by Poirier. The Sea Dogs will get some fresh legs over the board. Lawrence aggressively going in after it. Then he gets high sticked in the face. They're going to call that. And now the question is he cut? So the power play will be over for Halifax. So we'll be back to 4-on-4 for 1:01. And the Sea Dogs, looks like no blood. Lawrence just quickly to the bench.
Like you talked about earlier, the fits that an aggressive penalty kill can cause for a power play. We've seen it on both sides, where it's just there's almost been just as much offense from the PK on any given power play for each team.
So Vidicek will take the penalty for high sticking. 2-minute minor. Horvath behind his own goal for Halifax. Tries to go cross ice to Wynot. It's off a stick. Lifted out to center ice. And now over the line. Leroux with Desnoyers. The shot. And a couple nice stops by Moody. Leroux able to get a free shot on goal and takes it. Now a sidestep by Reynolds. Looked like Leroux had him lined up. Now Desnoyers to Leroux, the shot. And those two look very confident and comfortable together. So they had some room to work with and took advantage of it. Moody being called upon to make a couple nice stops. Faceoff will come to his left in goal for the Sea Dogs. Cam Mcdonald, Samuel Dubé, the centerman. Mcdonald wins it clean to Poirier behind the Sea Dog goal. 4:09 left here in the second period. 3-2 Sea Dogs lead. Poirier in over the line, loses the puck. Petten on to Dubé. 1-on-2. Nice defensive play by Charlie DeRoche. Pocket is picked, and it's Mcdonald off the center ice. Charlie DeRoche had jumped into LaRoche, but he's turned back. Tomlinson at his own blue line for the Mooseheads. At the blue line and lifts it in, and the Mooseheads going for a line change as the Sea Dogs power play will now go to work. Charlie DeRoche leaves it for McDonald. McDonald still with the puck. Drops it back to Poirier. Poirier down the wall. Feeds it through to McDonald to Stairs. Back to Poirier. Poirier looking. Feeds it through to Drover. Back to DeRoche. To Drover. To DeRoche, the one-timer. They score! Nice one-timer by Charlie DeRoche. And James got a piece of it, but he didn't get all of it.
I think it was Drover that just set it up on a tee for DeRoche, and I don't know if James wants that one back. Like you said, he did get enough, or he did get some of it, just not enough of it. That was a lace for glove side high.
Well, Poirier quarterbacking, and he finds Drover, and as you say, Drover just puts it up on a tee for DeRoche. He just simply wires it, walks into it. It's off the shoulder. The Sea Dogs have got a 2-goal lead now to work with. In over the line, and Bizot just called offside, and it looked like suddenly this swing of momentum. It's been an interesting game. The first half of the first period, pretty evenly matched. The Sea Dogs appeared to take command at the latter stages of the first period with 3 goals. And then it's the Mooseheads who really have tilted the ice. And now finally the Sea Dogs have had a response. So it's starting to turn into a pretty interesting game. And we'll set the stage for an exciting third. Playback underway. Puck is deep in Sea Dog territory. Shot. Moody steers it off his stick and to the far side boards. Battle along the boards all the way to the Sea Dog blue line. It's bounced in. McCollum will leave it for Villeneuve. Behind his own goal, settles things down. 2:30 left here in the second period. Sea Dogs up 4-2. Carruthers drops it back to Villeneuve as their own blue line. Villeneuve still at center. He'll backhand it. Tries to get it in deep. He's turned back, and here comes the counterattack. Vidicek. Couple nice moves. Vidicek, and he's drawn a penalty. And it's going to be a hooking call as Marcus Vidicek, couple nifty moves. We talked about good penalties, Joe. That might fall into that category again.
Vidicek made something out of nothing there. He just went through couple players, and at the last second forced to get the stick into the hands and disrupt a great chance.
The face-off will come to the right of Daniel Moody, and goal for St. John. Lawrence, who's been logging some PK time, will take the draw. No surprise, Desnoyers will be across from him for the Mooseheads. Puck not able to be kept in. Lawrence goes right after it and pressures. He has been very aggressive on this PK. LaRue being chased down by Lawrence. Still with the puck. LaRue, nice nifty move, and he's out and in. Over the line, walking in, sharp angle, scores! Another power play goal for the Mooseheads. And that sharp angle shot from Zachary LaRue cuts the Sea Dog lead to 4-3, and we're starting to see some goals being scored here, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, and what a quick release from LaRue. I think it caught Moody off guard that he was going to shoot not only from that angle but that quickly and just put that one 5-hole. Moody didn't have much time to react.
Well, so often the case on those sharp angle shots, they're going top shelf short side, but not this time. And that was below the paint, or below the circle. So that is a very sharp angle. And a credit to LaRue for finding the opening. So now the game continues to go back and forth here in the second period. Puck, Dumais controlling, back to the line. Shot, that goes through, almost out the other side and available. To the point. It's knocked down by Tessier. Stairs and a foot race. They chop at it, still at the line, and it's cleared to center. Tomlinson, cross ice pass. Dumais. He's chased down by Villeneuve. Puck is worked free. Desnoyers trying to stick handle his way out of traffic. It's knocked out, and there goes Stairs down. No call on the play. Pettin circles. Bursts of speed to center. Here comes Pettin. Stairs interrupts his flow. Burns for St. John. At the blue line, lifts it out to center. Stairs is in behind him. He takes a swipe at it. It's in front of the Sea Dogs bench. Still battling for it. 34 seconds left in the second period. Gathered up and off is Furlong. He feeds it through to Horvath. That's down. Correct that. That's Payton. Now it's Villeneuve. Up to Reynolds. Sidesteps the check. Puck is sent back into Sea Dog territory. 13 seconds left. Villeneuve to Rude. Back to Villeneuve. 8 seconds. Banked out to center ice. And in front of the Halifax bench, there's a foot race, but there's not going to be much time left. Mirren comes up, makes contact, and that is going to end the period. And a very interesting period, Joe, in comparison to the first period.
High flying back and forth. It was an exciting period. I don't know what part to play having two cold goaltenders coming in, but we definitely saw a bit of a flurry there.
Well, we talked about the sort of the flow of the play in that first period where it was evenly matched up. It was like both teams sort of trying to feel one another out, and then the Sea Dogs with growing confidence built a 3-0 lead. And then the Mooseheads have had a response here in the second. It sets the stage for a pretty exciting third, that is for sure. We'll give you a summary of the first two periods momentarily, and we'll just take a water break and be right back. You're listening to Sea Dogs Live and watching the YouTube channel. Welcome back to TD Station. We are in the second period intermission between the St. John Sea Dogs and Halifax Mooseheads. We'll give you a summary of the action here. In the first period, scoring got underway at the 11:07 mark. Josh Lawrence picking up his first goal of the preseason. Assist going to Josh Roy and Charlie DeRush. And the Sea Dogs up 1-0. Sea Dogs make it 2-0 at the 12:24 mark. Charlie DeRush, his third of this preseason. Dawson Stairs, Alex Drover assisting on his goal. And then we have Brady Burns adding to that Sea Dog league at the 14:23 mark. Burns' first of the preseason. A real nice setup from Jeremy Poirier and Peter Reynolds. And the Sea Dogs in command at that point in the hockey game, 3-0, outshooting Halifax in the first period 15-9. They basically took command of the period in that latter stages of the first. But the Halifax Mooseheads had a response here in the second. Jordan Dumais, his second of the season, coming at the 9:09 the preseason 9:09 mark. Elliot Denoyer and Lucas Robinson picking up the assists. And all of a sudden, the Mooseheads were on the board, trailing 3-1 at that point. And then Jordan Dumais, not done yet. It was his third of the preseason, second of the hockey game. A power play goal. Elliot Denoyer and Samuel Dubé picking up the assists. And all of a sudden, the Sea Dogs could hear the footsteps coming their way. Now leading 3-2. And so Charlie DeRush, his fourth of the preseason. He has looked awfully good. Assists Alex Drover and Jeremy Poirier. That's a power play goal coming at 16:50 of this second period. And that put the Sea Dogs up by 2. But the Halifax Mooseheads aren't going away here this afternoon. And it was Zachary Leroux, his third of preseason. 18-12 is the mark. It was another power play goal and no assists. Not sure, a bit of a surprise, but right now it's showing as no assists. It may change as the afternoon wears on, but that is how the period ended. A 4-3 Sea Dogs lead after 40 minutes. Shots on goal evened up, so that tells you a little bit as well. But the Mooseheads are certainly making a game of it and worthy opponents. We know the last time these two teams met in Dartmouth a week ago yesterday, and that was a 3-1 Moosehead lead. So they're getting to feel each other out a little more, and it's certainly going to set things up for a nice third period. So the Sea Dogs, a two-period shots on goal total of 27-21, and leading 4-3 after 40 minutes. I wanted to check the stats on face-offs, and not surprising, Elliot Denoyer, they're showing him 12 for 17. I don't know, I can't think of 5 face-offs that he's lost. He might have lost 1 or 2, but he has been a dominant force in the face-off circle. And Josh Lawrence has been pretty steady as well. He's 7 for 11 according to the statisticians. So key face-offs for Halifax, you're going to see Denoyer on the ice a lot. He is very good. That line has played very well. They have produced all three of the Moosehead goals. So penalties in the second period. Well, we had Charles Savoie back-to-back penalties to start the period. That's never a stat that you want to have. And the Mooseheads able to capitalize on one of those. And then the one penalty for Halifax, it was Marcus Vidicek. And Sea Dogs picking up their first power play goal of the game. And then Cale McCollum, a hooking penalty in the latter stages, and nothing came of that as far as scoring. Correct that, it was Zachary Leroux picking up a power play goal as Kyle McCollum was in serving his hooking minor. Joe, thoughts as we head towards the third period?
Well, it seems like all my storylines just go out the window. I talked about Jeremy Poirier and all of the shots on goal in the first period. He sets up Brady Burns for a tap-in. And then I was talking about the success of the aggressive PK and all the offensive chances. And then 3 of the 4 goals in the second are on the power play. So if we go with some more of my storylines, we'll see the opposite take place here in the third. So I'll have to come up with a few more. I'm also interested in seeing what kind of a third period we get from Peter Reynolds. And I don't know if we could say he's not been involved. He does have 2 secondary assists, so it's hard to knock someone with 2 assists going into the final period. But body language, he seems frustrated as he's coming off after some shifts. It'd be interesting to see his response in the third.
Well, he looked awfully good here the first preseason game. It's my first look at Peter Reynolds. I was super impressed with his skill level, and certainly that was a tremendous acquisition for the St. John Sea Dogs, and we'll see how he responds here in this third period. But we have seen some pretty strong performances for a number of players here. I want to mention as well Alex Drover, who has also been on fire. He's been dancing out there with 2 assists this afternoon, and he has looked very good in the preseason, playing with tremendous confidence. And so that's the Alex Drover, who has come back on a mission without any doubt about that. Out of town scoreboard, just to give you updates on scoring in Quebec. Shawinigan Cataracts up 2-0, and that is early second period action. From Chicoutimi, we've got a 2-2 game between the Baie-Comeau Drakkar and the Sags. Out of Moncton up 2-1 on the Eagles with 5 minutes remaining. In the first period, and end of the first period, Rimouski is up 1-0 on Victoriaville, and Val-d'Or is in Rouen, and they are leading the Huskies 2-0. So some out-of-town scores to keep an eye on. Of course, we won't be seeing much of those Quebec teams this season, but they are in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and it's always interesting to see the teams that are rolling and the teams that might be struggling. We are going to have a very, very special Maritime Division season, and if this game is any indication, we're going to get to see some pretty good hockey. I've been very impressed. We're very early, obviously, in the season. We're still officially in training camp, preseason. I was curious, Joe, your thoughts. I talked about in the opening the win-loss record. The Mooseheads at 3-0, the Sea Dogs at 1-2. Do we put much stock in preseason records?
Well, I mean, not too much. I don't think if you look at a team that goes undefeated in the preseason, they're certainly far from a lock to win the league. But it's just a time of tinkering and figuring out what works and what doesn't. And we're in a very unique time now with this pandemic, with import players and rosters that are not quite finalized with players from outside of the country. So it's there could be some very different looks on both sides coming into the season whenever these bans are lifted or whatever it goes into the process of getting these players into the country.
Now, there's so many factors, of course, that are outside the control of the Sea Dogs and the Mooseheads, and one of them is international travel and access to players coming from outside the country, outside the region, and both teams have players in the mix that if they can get them, they're going to be a different looking team, as you say, Joe. Different as in they'll be just that much better with the addition of talent. I think of Matt Gould, who certainly made and left his presence felt here last season. Just a tremendous, gritty forward, great penalty killer, hard working. He just would grind teams down, and he got rewarded on scoreboards as well. And so Matt Gould, of course, an American, so far not able to get into the country. And the Sea Dogs had made a move, picking up Kotkov, the Russian. He's a force, and certainly if they can get him, it will be a big acquisition for them. And the Mooseheads, again, are in the same boat, trying to get players in that will give them a different look to their lineup.
And you have players in unique situations here on the teams currently, because it's not so much that you're fighting for the available spots. You're fighting so that you don't have yours taken by someone that's eagerly waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and you know the possibilities of these players eventually getting here. You know, whether we're talking about a month or 3 months, and of course, not knowing and able to predict the future, it's entirely possible they don't get here for the season. So it's certainly a unique time. When we talked in the pregame, Joe, about your experience at the Sea Dogs training camp, the number of players that you were battling for a position on the Sea Dogs, I'm pretty sure there was like 60 players at training camp that first inaugural season for the Sea Dogs. And here, maximum number of players in the Quebec League allowed this year for training camp was 32. And the Sea Dogs, I think they came in at 29. And so it was... there weren't a whole lot of bodies here in training camp.
It would have been a very different look. And again, that first season, that 05-06 season, I think we only got a T-shirt, because if they gave anything more to every player at camp, they wouldn't have enough money to make the team go for the season.
Well, they wouldn't be able to open up the boutique. There'd be no clothing. There'd be no clothing to sell. It would have been all given away to the tryouts.
That's right.
Both teams back on the ice here at TD Station. In goal to our right is Brady James, the 17-year-old for the Halifax Mooseheads, preparing his crease. And to our left, Daniel Moody for the Sea Dogs. You probably wonder, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, going, why is he saying this? But we are also on the internet on Sea Dogs Live, so I'm saying it for the benefit of those who can't see the play. And but we're thrilled that you're able to tune in, and we know, Joe, I know how much it meant to us when you were playing in Sweden to be able to tune into a broadcast. We didn't get video, but we got updates, and that even meant something to us. It is really special for families to stay in contact with their sons and family members. So we're glad that you're able to join us here this afternoon in this preseason contest, and hopefully we haven't butchered too many names too badly.
We've got that Peyton Pettin issue still to be resolved, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge for the play-by-play guy, at least for this play-by-play guy. But anyway, hang in there with me, bear with me. I'll try and get it right. So puck is at center. It's been dropped, and we're underway for the third here at TD Station in St. John. Puck is relayed deep by Waugh. Why not under pressure from Lawrence in behind the Halifax goal. Giroir in the help out. Puck is worked free, and out to center is LaRue. LaRue, one-on-one against the rush. He's turned back. Joshua Wall in the help out. They battle on the near side boards. It's worked free by LaRue. Flipped high in the air. Moody blockers into the near corner. Up the boards. LaRue with the puck once more. Feeds it through. A shot. That is a quick shot by Dumais. 2 goals on the afternoon for Halifax. And out to center ice comes DeRoche. He walks in over the line. He's got Lawrence with him. Still looking. Shot off the side of the goal. And we saw him pick a corner against Bathurst, which was an absolute dandy short side goal. In over the line, Villeneuve walking. Still high slot. That's off the backboards. And momentarily it looked like Villeneuve was going to get a free goal walking into the high slot. Now, Dubé over the line for Halifax. Dubé puts the brakes on. A nice move. Control the shot by Pettin. And a save by Moody. He's doing the snow angel in the crease. Up the center ice. Robinson battles along the boards with Savoie. It's kicked free and back into Halifax territory. Furlong turns back. He's being chased by Carruthers. Furlong for Halifax settles behind his goal. He'll wait for the breakout. Furlong. Up the boards to Robinson. To center. Robinson. Blocked at the blue line by Villeneuve, and he's away. Villeneuve carries the puck in over the line. He's stick checked. Orr comes up with it. Tight going in the neutral zone right now. Both teams not wanting to let them freewheel. In behind his own goal. Furlong. He begins up ice to his own blue line. Furlong stick handles, flips it high in the air, will go in after it. Moody knocks it down, leaves it for McCollum. He backhands it off the glass to the line, kept in nicely by Miron. And it's Rude under pressure. Heavy body check. Handed out there by Carruthers. I'm going to go with Miron, Joe. What do you think?
I would predict Myron, but yeah.
Forgive me, Myron family.
Either. Miron.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it didn't take as long to get a bit more run and gun in this period already. We've had some great chances on both sides.
Been an entertaining game here this afternoon, that is for sure. Now we got a 2-on-1, and a puck just goes out of play as Leonard and Burns, they were off to the races, and they looked like they were on a mission. But the puck goes out of play. Faceoff will come back into Sea Dog territory. We're down to 17:39 remaining in the third period. Vidicek will take the draw against Reynolds. Vidicek wins it clean, back to Tessier. Shot steered easily by Moody to the far side. Burns retrieves. He's worked over by Payton. In behind the goal. Payton tries to jam play, still battling for it. Moody hangs in there. And a real good second, third effort by Liam Payton, the former Charlottetown Islander. And let's credit Daniel Moody for weathering that storm. He was battling the puck, the stick, and the body as he had to defend the wraparound.
Great job keeping track of it. That was a quick wraparound. I believe the rebound came out off the Moosehead skate, kicked over to the side, and he was tracking the whole way.
Always good to see those pads tight to the ice, no holes in them. Play underway. Villeneuve with the puck near sideboards. He's off the center to Drover, back to Villeneuve to Stairs. Nice play by Stairs to kick it up to his feet. Shot wide of the goal. Kept at the line by Mcdonald. He goes cross ice to Drover. Shot. Big pad save. Rebound kicked out, and it's gathered in by the Mooseheads. LaRue in over the line. His shot. That's gloved by Moody. He'll take no chances with that line, as they have been dangerous every time on the ice for Halifax here this afternoon. Denoyer, LaRue, and Dumais. So the faceoff will come to the right of Daniel Moody, who says, as a 20-year-old, I don't want this play to go any longer, and I'm going to hang on to it. Fresh lines over the boards. Dumais battling against Lawrence. Lawrence wins it, but the puck kept at the line momentarily, now out. Lawrence circles back into Sea Dog territory, leaves it for McCollum. McCollum looking up ice. His pass, it's off the stick, but in behind the goal. Lawrence chops it. Hunt under pressure. Waugh feeds it out in front, and it's just behind Giroir, who wanted to get a hold of it. McCollum Richter, that's off a body in near sideboards. Waugh down low to Giroir. To Lawrence. Lawrence up the wall. He's stick checked along the far boards. Tessier works him over. Lawrence somehow works it free. Shot. That one is wide of the goal as Waugh had a free go at it. Rude down low. Giroir stick handles up the board, cycles it, leaves it for Rude. Rude cross ice pass. That's Waugh on the backhand, and he couldn't get it away. Or for Halifax, his pass out the center. Pettin at the line. He'll send it in deep. The Mooseheads on a line change. McCollum to center ice. McCollum eluding some checks. Backhands it in deep. Robinson will be under pressure. Up the near boards. Along the boards, they battle. That's Bizot in to help out. Stick snapped off by Miron. And it's worked free. Cross ice pass. That's Poirier looking. Poirier, nice move. Shot. That's off the shoulder of James. Poirier putting on a stick handling clinic. Poirier with the puck. Down low to Carruthers. Loses the handle. Myron up to Vidicek. His lead pass, and Peyton couldn't connect. DeRush, very dangerous here this afternoon. Charlie DeRush with the puck. Back into his own zone to Poirier. To DeRush. He's up ice. Hits Reynolds off the bench. He'll backhand it in deep. Goes in after it against Wynot. Works it free. Near sideboards. Desnoyers to LaRue. In over the line. LaRue for Halifax. Feeds it through. That didn't miss by much. The redirect off a skate in front. At the line. Horvath keeps it in for Halifax. Puck is flipped in the air. That's Reynolds with it. Here comes Reynolds. One-on-one. Looking for help. Finds the support coming late. Shot. Scores! That's Brady Burns. Well, it didn't look like much was developing, and all of a sudden, it's in the back of the net.
And Liam Leonard makes a 3-foot pass that's just in the perfect place for Burns to put that one low 5-hole.
Well, Brady Burns, we have seen that kid was born to score goals. An absolute sniper. And we get the chance to see the replay. As you mentioned, it was Leonard, the backhander. Peter Reynolds picking up another assist on the afternoon, so he has had a response here. The Sea Dogs back to a 2-goal lead with 14:21 left here in the third period. But we have seen the Mooseheads who have not gone away, and they will likely have a response. Now over the line, it's Pettin. High slot, shot off the blocker of Moody. Near sideboards, Tomlinson jumps in aggressively. Pettin goes up the near boards to the line. Dubé, cross ice. That shot, far side. Tomlinson still in there. Puck is worked free, and it's Mcdonald can't get it out as it's kept in by Hunt in behind the goal. Orr battles for it. Worked free, and it stares to center ice for St. John. Finds McDonald. McDonald over the line. Feeds it through the stairs. And a nice save by James. And is it in? No light on. We're going to get a penalty shot as the signal, Joe. So the puck did not go in. Give me your interpretation.
I believe the puck went 5-hole on James, and I think it was trickling in. We had a Mooseheads player sliding in behind him, and the ref must have seen it, got a hand on the puck to keep it from going in.
There was no hesitation. Dawson Stairs. Well, I don't mind having Dawson Stairs on the ice to take a penalty shot. So here we go. Dawson Stairs will get the penalty shot against Brady James. This would be a huge goal for St. John, obviously, to put them back to a 3-goal lead. Here we go. Here comes Stairs. Over the blue line. Walking in. Stairs. Oh, what a tremendous stop by Brady James. A excellent move by Dawson Stairs. Let's give that kid credit. That was a spectacular glove save. There'd better be a few Mooseheads over to give that kid a tap on the pads. That's why you play goal.
Yeah, that would be a nice one to have in the highlight reel compilation for Mr. James, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. That feels great. Sea Dogs pressing. That shot goes through the crease to the other side. Villeneuve's shot, that's off a shin pad, out to center. And here comes Peyton and Villeneuve battling one-on-one. Peyton, big body with the puck. Former Islander goes back to the point. Furlong, shot. That goes wide and in behind the goal. Puck is knocked free. Lawrence finds his man Waugh at center. Joshua Waugh to Lawrence. He's in over the line. Lawrence stick handling, looking. Tries to feed it through. It goes off a stick to Villeneuve. Villeneuve to Waugh. He turns it back. Waugh controlling near sideboards. Joshua Waugh to the point. The one-timer by Villeneuve, and that disappears into the midsection of the goaltender, James. And he has, come off the bench. He's looked very good, Joe. It's just a young goaltender. But
I still can't. We didn't really describe that Stairs penalty shot that well for those listening. That was a fake to, I believe, to the backhand, and seemed to have to have James beat and just reached out with the glove and was able to pick that one out from a sure goal, it looked like.
Poirier to Bizo at center. That's turned back by Denoyer. Puck is flipped down into Halifax territory. That's going to be icing. The faceoff will come deep in Sea Dog territory. So we are 5-3 in favor of the Sea Dogs with 12:30 remaining. Always interesting to see, especially as we get into the latter stages of the game, who Greg Gilbert puts out. Do you continue looking for more goals, or do you start getting into a defensive, you want defensive people out there? Now the shot, Moody makes the save. Dumais behind the goal for Halifax, feeds it out in front. Denoyer puts it out to LaRue. They have been magic, this three, and giving the Sea Dogs lots to handle. Now back to the point, Horvath with it. Shot, that redirect, and that was Denoyer, and wide of the net. Around the goal, Horvath. Cross ice pass, Dumais, and no one could get a stick on the puck. And off the center ice, here come the Sea Dogs with a 3-on-2. That's Savoie, high slot, tries to get it through. His stick is checked at the last second. Still battling for the loose puck. Leonard off the bench, slides it into Moosehead territory. Horvath will settle things down as both teams making line changes. Horvath being shadowed by Leonard. Leonard chasing him up the ice, won't let him loose. Horvath forced to give it up. Nice forechecking by Leonard. That almost cost the Mooseheads. Back, Rude for St. John. His lead pass jumps on Leonard over his stick, or in over the line with Pettin. Pettin tries to feed it through to Orr. The puck lies loose. Burns in to help out, near corner. Burns works it free. Couple nice moves. Great hands. Burns up to center ice. That's between the stick of Leonard. And that's going to be an icing. So no line change for St. John. Face off deep in Sea Dog territory with 10:56 remaining. Face off to the right of Daniel Moody. And it'll be Peter Reynolds against Dubé. Back to the line. It goes out over the stick of Robinson. Sea Dogs have to tag, correct that, Mooseheads have to tag up. Moody leaves it for McCollum. Long lead past the center is picked off by Furlong. He backhands it down to Orr. Orr up the boards to Furlong. Burns over to chop at it. Out to center ice. It's Robinson. Will get there first. Back into Moosehead territory, being shadowed by Reynolds. He decides he's got to get off for a line change. Robinson up ice for the Mooseheads. The center. Payton in over the line. Here comes Payton with a burst of speed. Tries to jam it. It's on the back of Villeneuve. Lies there momentarily. Payton, he's had lots of jam. Shot from the point. That hits a bunch of people in front. Doesn't get through. Robinson pinching in. He's bodied hard. In behind the goal, it's fed out. Furlong takes it on his backhand. He can't pull the trigger. Now, walking in, the shot saved by Moody, as that was Payton. He's been busy. Shot. That doesn't get through. Some good pressure from the Mooseheads at this point. Near sideboards. Vidicek feeds it. A jam play, and Moody gets the paddle down as he has been busy in tight. And now we get Mcdonald. I'm not sure who the Moosehead is. They tie up in the crease, and they're both going to get directed to the penalty box. Still waiting to see who's all wrapped up in the crease.
I believe that's our mystery pronunciation, Myron.
Yes, indeed. So McDonald and Myron will take a seat in the penalty box. Likely roughing minors is what will go up on the board. 2 minutes anyway for each. We're down to 9:38 left here in the third period. Sea Dogs up 5-3. Face-off will come to the right of Sea Dogs goaltender Daniel Moody.
Mooseheads slowly reeling in. The Sea Dogs in the shot department now, 34-29 in favor of the Sea Dogs.
Yes, indeed. And Moody has been busy. And I'll give credit to the Mooseheads. They trailed at one point in this game, if you've joined us late, 3-0. But they did not stop, and they just continued to press. And it has been a very good game to this point. Now, Giroir aggressively going in after the puck. It's knocked free. Lawrence in to help out. Desnoyers ties up his stick. Far side, Leroux under pressure from Lawrence. Cycles it down to Horvath. Being pressured by Giroir. Good forecheck by the Sea Dogs. It's knocked out to center ice. 4-on-4. No surprise to see Leroux and Desnoyers out together on the ice. Leroux loses the puck, and back come the Sea Dogs. Lawrence on to Poirier, who's jumped into the rush. Poirier to Lawrence. Looks to feed it. Shot that goes off the shin pad of Wynot. Wide of the goal. Dumais to Wynot. He's 1-on-2. Here comes Wynot with a burst of speed. He knocked to the ice. Now, over off the bench is Waugh. He'll send it out to center ice. Furlong will backpedal to his own blue line for the Mooseheads. Furlong looking. Finds his man, Dubé. Sidesteps the check of McCollum, and it's in behind the goal to Villeneuve. Villeneuve. Up ice. Feeds it through to McCollum. He's looking. Decides to whip it down into Mooseheads territory. Along the near side boards, kept in by Villeneuve. Down low. That is Savoie. Back to Waugh. Tries to feed it through to McCollum, who's pinching in. Still 4-on-4, so there's some extra ice out there. Villeneuve looking. Still with it. Leaves it to Savoie. The shot. That is picked off by Dumais. Dumais out to center ice. He's got 2-on-2 with Dubé. And nice defensive play by Villeneuve to turn that back, and then it's out to center. There's Mcdonald fighting through the check. No call on the play. I thought interference likely. Now the puck is out of play. And I'm not sure. Is that a penalty, Joe?
I believe so.
Well, no penalty box door open. I thought it was a delay of game, but it does not look like it's going to be the case.
It looked cleanly out, and credit Cam McDonald for that hustle and diving to try and get it, and it appears, yes, it will be.
Yeah, there's the box now open. Nothing up on the board yet, but Cam McDonald looked like he was interfered with coming through the neutral zone as he was battling towards that loose puck. But anyway, it results in a penalty against the Mooseheads. So the Sea Dog power play will go to work. Reynolds will take the face-off. He's got Leonard and Burns on the wing. McCollum and Villeneuve, the defensive pair. And now Reynolds is tossed. Leonard will take the draw against Orr to the point. Villeneuve to McCollum. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds looking. Feeds it high slot. Reynolds once more with the puck. Shot, that's off a leg. Reynolds leaves it for Burns. Burns goes cross ice. Villeneuve to McCollum. Nice job keeping it in. McCollum looking. Feeds it over to Reynolds. Reynolds to Leonard. Good aggressive forecheck there by Pettin. Down low to Burns. Back to Reynolds. It's behind him. Nice job by McCollum to keep it in. Reynolds looking. Walking shot. That's off a leg and wide. Villeneuve goes back to McCollum to Villeneuve. To Leonard off the blocker and out to center ice. 1:10 left in the man advantage for St. John. McCollum back up ice. Feeds it through to Villeneuve. He's stick check. Puck is down into Sea Dog territory. Now we got a Desnoyers will get to it first, and he and Reynolds battle for it. That's quite a matchup. Nice job by Peter Reynolds. There's no slouch that he was dealing with there with Desnoyers. Charlie DeRush leaves it for Poirier. On to Lawrence. He dances in, splits in. Shot, sharp angle, nice save by James. Puck at the line, knocked down. Waugh. Near sideboards, back to Poirier at the point. Poirier feeds it. Giroir. The Poirier loads it up. That one is a laser, but wide. The rush keeps in. High slot. Cross ice, Poirier. Didn't get it cleanly. And the rim pass is going to go down the ice as that point position had been vacated. The rush around his goal. He's got 8 seconds left in the man advantage. Not much to work with now, but he's off the center, in over the line. Leaves it for a while. Back to the rush. He chips it in behind the goal. Teams are back to even strength. Now to center ice. Payton chasing in after Poirier. Poirier leaves it. The rush up the boards to Waugh. He finds Poirier at center. Poirier's in over the line. Looking. Shot. That's off a leg. Rebound. Poirier fires it. Saved by James. Puck in behind the Halifax goal. We're down to 5 minutes left here in the third period. Lawrence works it free. Lawrence still with it. Still with the puck, Lawrence. Tries to feed it through to Gartley, and that's intercepted. In over the line is Furlong. Furlong shot. A nice glove save by Moody. He tracked it all the way into the glove. Good positioning, and holds for the faceoff. Little tap from Hunter Gartley to say, thank you, Mr. Moody. Lawrence was under lots of pressure, just couldn't get the puck across, and credit to Jake Furlong for busting in. Got a pretty good shot away, and a nice glove save by Moody. Vidicek and Carruthers will take the draw. I say that. Carruthers is thrown out, toe out of position. Vidicek wins the draw back to Horvath. He's down, in behind the goal, off the side of the net. Gathered in by Bezo for St. John. He banks it off the boards to center ice, and here comes a burst of speed. That's Carruthers walking in. Carruthers! He's bothered, but still maintains control, but couldn't get the shot away. To the far corner. Horvath now under pressure from Carruthers. Puck goes up the sideboards. Bezo keeps it down, pushes it in behind the Halifax goal to Horvath. Horvath waiting, looking for some seam. Chips it out into the center ice area. He's turned back by Villeneuve. And Hunt will go cross ice to Horvath. To center ice. The big defenseman for Halifax sends it in deep. Pettin in pressuring. That's Villeneuve. Up the boards to Savoie, who finds Drover at center. Here comes Drover. Puts the brakes on, under pressure, sends it in around the boards. No one going. Desnoyers will push the puck back to Horvath. Cross ice to Robinson. Robinson up ice for the Mooseheads. Still with the puck. Eludes 2 forecheckers. In over the line. The fed through by Desnoyers. Couldn't get a stick on it. We're going to get a penalty here. It's a hook is the call. I'm not sure who's getting it.
I believe Rude got the stick in on Desnoyers, who's going to the net for their give-and-go attempt.
So a late power play for the Mooseheads. Don't change the channel. Don't leave your seat. 3:31 remaining. The Mooseheads have proven to be very resilient, and they are not going to ease up. They are pressing to try and cut into this lead. Now, here they come. And a shot. That's off the glove of Moody. Near corner. Back to the point. Why not? He goes cross ice. Dubé. Desnoyers. And it's knocked away and out to center ice by Reynolds. Backpedaling and out to center. Dumais loses the puck, and it's Reynolds. 1-on-5. Here comes Reynolds' shot. That's off a leg. He still has the puck. Reynolds tries to go back to Leonard off the bench. It's picked off by Desnoyers. In over the line. He leaves it for Dumais. Dubé with the puck. Walking. Side of the net. Around the goal. Back up the near sideboards. Dubé loses the puck. At the line kept in. Desnoyers drops it to Wynot. Tries to feed it across, and Reynolds just got a piece of it. But now here comes Dubé walking in. There's the shot. It's in the crease. They bang away at it. Still loose. Still down there. They still can't come up with it. And finally, Moody pounces on that loose puck with 2:22 left here in the third period. Well, that was a lot of sustained pressure. You pointed out, Joe, earlier, the shot clock. Now the Sea Dogs only have a 4-shot lead on the Moose. They have really put some pucks on goal in the second half of this game.
And we'll see if they continue. And I know they're on the power play now, but they've been stretching their forwards out more and more as this period's gone on, looking for the long pass. We'll see if this penalty finishes, if they continue that.
Now it's Orr for Halifax. He risks it in behind the goal. 35 seconds left in the Moosehead power play. Near corner. That's Payton. Cross ice. Furlong at the point looking. There's the pass. Here comes Vidicek. The shot off the shoulder. The rebound comes right back to Vidicek. To the point to Furlong. Vidicek. Stick handling. Under pressure from Carruthers. In comes Pettin to help out. Down low to Payton. Payton tries a jam play. Doesn't work. 5 seconds left in the man advantage. Banks at the board. Furlong keeps it in. Loads shot. That goes off something out in front and up into the netting. That's going to be the power play for the Mooseheads. With 1:29 left. Sea Dogs leading 5-3.
Now you're going to be looking to see James head to the bench here. 2 goals down with 1:29.
Well, J.J. Daigneault, the coaching staff, and it is so different with this pandemic age that we're in to see the coaching staff masks and goggles. And Sylvain Favreau with the whiteboard out, drawing up the game plan for the Mooseheads. And of course, at the other end, the Sea Dogs with their own whiteboard, Greg Gilbert. Joe, I'm assuming in this situation it's face-off win, this is what we do. Face-off loss, this is what we do.
And this is part of what Gilbert was talking about this week with the repetition. I'm sure they've gone over these types of plays before, so it's just a refresher of everyone knowing where they're going if the puck goes in any given area.
So we have Savoie, McDonald, Bizot, and Darache. Correct that, we've got Poirier. So it's a 6-on-5 situation. McDonald will take the draw against who else? Desnoyers. It's in his skates, worked free, kept in. Dubé. Back to Wynot. Cross ice. Desnoyers. Near sideboards. Dumais. Back to the point. The shot that comes through traffic, but somehow Moody tracks it into his equipment and will hang on with 1:13 left in this third period. Faceoff will once again come to the left of Moody. This time it'll be Lawrence taking the draw. Darache and Villeneuve, the defensive pair. Villeneuve hard around the glass, and that's going to get it out to center with a foot race. That's McDonald with it. McDonald tries to feed it across, and incredibly, Savoie is offside. Oh, that one. That's tough. As it looked like a sure empty net goal. A 2-on-1 that had developed, and McDonald was going to get there first, and Savoie was called a step offside.
That is a stinger. A 2-on-1 with an empty net, you would end with a better result. But at the same time, with the face-off in the neutral zone, that forces James back in the goal.
Yeah, now the face-off, all important. McDonald once more, Desnoyers, and he has won a ton of face-offs. Wins that one too, but sends it deep into his own zone. Up the near boards, at the line, McDonald risks it in behind the Halifax goal, and that's burning precious seconds for the Mooseheads. Why not up the Furlong? He'll lift it high in the air in. Here comes James out of his goal, 6-on-5. Around the boards it goes. At the line, is it held in? Yes, Dubé does. Sends it down low to Leroux. Leroux battles with Villeneuve. In behind the net, Desnoyers. Dumais. Dumais with the puck. Controlled. Desnoyers to Dumais. McDonald bodies him. Darache jumps on it. He'll flip it high in the air, and here comes the foot race. Look at this speed coming. That's Leonard. He'll get there first. Scores! Wow, Liam Leonard.
We talked about Pavel Bure earlier in the broadcast, I believe. That was went by. Why not? Wow.
That was quite an exhibit of skating, Joe. That Liam Leonard. he's got quite a stride. I mean,
I mean, in all fairness to why not, he did have to pivot to go back to get the puck while Leonard was on the straightaway, but still, that was an impressive display.
And Liam Leonard's not a small player, but he was flying. And that is going to seal this game. 6-3 right now with 10 seconds left. Play back underway. Puck in Sea Dog territory. It's flipped high in the air. 3 seconds left. That's going to do it, folks. And this one is going to be in the books as a 6-3 Sea Dog victory here at TD Station. And that will improve the Sea Dog record in this preseason to 2-2. This, for the Halifax Mooseheads, is their first loss in preseason. Their record will sit now at 3 wins and 1 loss. A pretty entertaining game, to say the least, Joe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another storyline of mine that could be exploded. I think we talked about the 40-plus shots the Sea Dogs had averaged. They only got 38 this game, so there's one. But yeah, I mean, talk about a game that had everything, though. You got some amazing goals, big hits, some incredible saves, a fight. I think you had just about everything you look for in a hockey game as a fan.
I think you're too hard on yourself, Joe. Your color analysis, I deeply appreciate it. Yes, there were some things that happened here this afternoon that didn't go according to the script, but a very entertaining game. And, of course, there's lots to be worked on by both teams, and I've said all along, when you're in preseason, we got a lot of months left ahead of us of hockey. We're not going to panic or do anything crazy at this point, but that was a very, very entertaining hockey game for a preseason game here at TD Station. We'll take a break, get a drink of water, and be back with a post-game summary from TD Station. You're listening to Sea Dogs Live and following us on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to TD Station. The game has just concluded between the St. John Sea Dogs and Halifax Mooseheads. We'll give you a bit of a rundown on the game here this afternoon, and a pretty entertaining one at that. The scoring got underway in the first period. Josh Lawrence picking up his first of the season. Assists going to Joshua Waugh and Charlie DeRoche. That came at the 11:07 mark. And Sea Dogs on the board, leading 1-0. They added to that lead at the 12:24 mark. Charlie DeRoche, his third of the preseason. Assist going to Dawson Stairs and Alex Drover. Sea Dogs enjoying a 2-0 lead at that point. They added to it in the first period as Brady Burns picked up his first of this preseason at the 14:23 mark. Jeremy Poirier, Peter Reynolds, the assists, and the Sea Dogs enjoying a 3-0 lead after 20 minutes. Outshooting Halifax 15-9. Fairly quiet in the penalty department in that first period. Both teams with minors, and then we had the fighting major going to Riley Bezo and Zachary LaRue at the 13:26 mark. And then late offsetting penalties to Jeremy Poirier and Brendan Tomlinson. But no power play goals in that first period. So the second period, the Halifax Mooseheads had a statement to make, and that was we're in this for the long haul. And the goal came at the 9:09 mark, pretty much almost the halfway point of the second period. But it was Jordan Dumais, his second of the preseason, assist going to Elliot Denoyer and Lucas Robinson. And then they struck again, this time on the power play. It was Dumais' third of the preseason, second of the game on the power